What's up, y'all? How are you? We got. So I'm going to go from the bottom here on up. So we got Kevin here. Kevin, I was enjoying your fishing there, buddy. I wish we could get out and do some of that here in Ohio, but I drive down the street to the lake that's close. It's still frozen, buddy. So Dan, welcome, welcome. Rodney, what's up? I got my Bosnian friend in here. We're going to see him here real shortly. Who else do we got in here? I saw Hobby Farm Homestead. Doug, his way homestead. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Got the hat on. Couple people in here. If I miss anybody, so Recyclable Homestead, welcome, welcome. How are you? Got a couple things I want to chat about. Buckeye hunting and fishing. What's up, man? Hey, how you guys this weather here today? You all are probably losing some snow. We around my place, we hit 54 today, and Mary Ranch, welcome, welcome. We only have a little bit of snow left, like in the shaded spots where the sun can't get it. So I was sitting actually in the living room, looked out the window, and I'm like, my gosh, I can't see snow. So what it is, what it is. What's up, Blanchard Bees? How are you? So 65 there today, Doug saying, yeah. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I know. I think everybody's getting into some warming trends. So, and if you all saw, I got to shut the door. I'm talking too loud. So my wife is doing her study, her Bible study with the girls. So, and my mouth gets going too loud. So, snow is gone, but it was raining this afternoon. So that's funny because I looked on the radar and just to see like what was going on out there, and I saw that huge band going down through there. We got nothing in my area. So, and that's like par for the course, like with the snow. It was all south of us. So weird, but I'll take that. I'll take that. So, so this week here, what I want to get into is just talking, just taking some things back to a little bit of some basics. And there's all kind of chat here and there and whatever. And recently, with the new followers of the channel, I've gotten a lot of questions just about beekeeping, starting out, different things like that. And this week, I just wanted to talk. And if after our guest is done talking about his style of hives, if someone else that has a different style hive wants to jump in and join and chat, I'll welcome that, but I don't want to take any time away from our guest. So let's see here. Just making sure I'm keeping up with all the chat. Keeping up. Yep, I think I am. So, but before I get into talking about the different types of hives, and I think there's a lot of beekeepers in here. So, we'll. There's going to be our. I'm putting him right on the spot. So, y'all, we're going to talk to this fella right there, NKY Honeybees, about his horizontal hives is who we're going to talk to this week. I don't think anyone knew that. So I want to find out about some horizontal hives, but I'm going to talk a little bit about Langstroths, but then going to talk to my Bosnian friend about the horizontal. So I'm just super curious about those. But before we get into talking about the hives. So, and I'll just talk about Langstroths because that's all I know. And Langstroths are those typical, and I had, I think all the beekeepers probably got this here. It's those typical, is Michael Palmer here tonight? That's right. Well, John, that's you. I heard Michael Palmer change his name. Bad as bees now. So, Bradley White. Look at that. John, Lord of the Bees in the house. That's right. That's right. So, but what I want to show you all, and I don't know, I didn't put it, I was going to make a video on this. I didn't do it. I was just still tweaking a couple things. I think some of the Brotherhood of the Hats knows about this, but what I want to show you all is this right here. So, I went on to Spreadshirt, and I followed. So If Farmstead Smith, Adrian, if you watch, uh, I went on to this Spreadshirt and just uploaded, I did a couple designs. So the designs that I have so far are this. It's that one right there. So it's the picture of my 3 hives, and those are the original ones. And it has Castle Hives, just the basic, photo. And then I've got the ones with the Castle Hives logo. So, and then, there's some men's shirts on here. There's some women's. There's hoodies. There are some mugs. So, and then stickers. But now I'll tell you all this. There's only 12 days left right there. There's a 15% off going now. If you log in there also, when I very first logged in, it popped up something about 20% off. So, just wanted to throw that out there. I will, Jesse Miller, what's happening? I'm going to throw in the link into the chat. But just wanted to throw that out there. I've had a couple people ask about shirts and different things like that. I haven't, prior to this, I just like this one here that I have. I just went to a site, threw this design on there and did it. I didn't have anything kind of like formal like that. So I wanted to, just get something designed. There's 3 designs on there. And, I just thought, keep it basic. They had all kind of crazy colors in there too that I took out. Like they had all kind of pinks and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, of course, g'day, Brian. That's right, Bradley. That's right. Yeah. But, they just had all kind of stuff. And I spent a little bit of time just tweaking some of those designs. They do a little bit ahead of time for you. But, if you all want to go on there, you don't have to. But just for those that do want one, that's just an ease. You can go on there. And you can even, look at this. We're going to see myself talking. You can even go on here and like, say I get this design here. You can customize it. And I think this is what I'm going to do is customize this. I can even go to the back and you can throw in like some text. See? So it's no pink. My Bosnian buddy, no pink. So, but yeah, you can throw, even text on these. So you can kind of tweak them a little bit. I kind of like this Spreadshirt a little bit. I'm going to probably order a couple things on here. I know my mom said she was going to order a hoodie most likely, but I kind of like, I don't know whether I like that with the Castle Hives or just the basic one. So, but that's that, y'all. So now, and if my Bosnian friend here is, whenever you are ready, we can talk about your hives, and then we'll talk about these after. But, for those that are looking to start, I know I see a lot in here. Like Doug, I know you've got hives. Kevin, we're going to teach you a little bit, buddy. There's a few people in here. Blanchard Bees, that was, I'll just go to the site. Paste. So right there, it's called Spreadshirt, and it is Blanchard Bees. It's super, super easy. You can actually upload images and then go through, and they kind of suggest how the things look, but then you can tweak it. You can suggest what colors. So it was fairly easy, I will say. It was pretty darn easy. So, I'm going to get a couple things. I'll probably get, a couple. I do like this one on here with like this khaki color. It just kind of looks good with that picture and that stuff on there. So, but taking it back to some basics. Oh, Karen, yeah. So Karen, and Muddy Boots, what's happening, man? So I'm going to ask. I know Muddy Boots, Boots, there, buddy. Are you going to get bees? And Karen, do you have um, like? Have you decided on what type of hives you're going to get when you get hives? And the reason why I ask that is so I have this sheet here, and it's what is in a hive. And so the type of hives that I have, and it's just the traditional style, like what you see, if you're driving down the street and you've ever seen hives and they're stacked up, boxes stacked up, Langstroth hives are those typical. I don't know the history of the guy Langstroth that, it was all named after. I know, as far as the bee space and all that stuff, that was all, they figured all that stuff out. I know, like John, Bad Beast there, he probably knows a little bit more about that than what I do. But the Langstroths, they were very common in my area. Not yet, we know nothing. Okay, maybe this will help. The don't know. I'm going to ask you what I need because I'm in the north. Well, and Boots. So Boots and Karen. So I went with Langstroth. The hives that stack, simply because the equipment, as far as finding feeders and just finding different, like if I needed a one-off item, it was very easy to find. As far as the Langstroths also, okay, and you've got the whole setup, like you've got your bottom board that typically, and on the thumbnail for this, your bottom board, there's, and you're going to find this, those that are just getting into beekeeping, there's like several like dividing lines in beekeeping. So for bottom boards, there's those that run screen bottom boards and those that run a solid bottom board. The screen bottom boards, I think there's a little bit more of a benefit so that you get more ventilation through a hive. We're in high desert or Southern California. Okay. What do your temps get to? Because and typically what I recommend also is this. If you're looking to get into beekeeping, find a local like beekeepers group, bee club, and Langstroth is the most common. Yep. Oh, okay, Boots. I typically say find a local group also, and then talk to folks in your area. Because what I do here in Northeast Ohio, Karen, would be nothing like what you would do as far as your seasons and that. Now, some of the techniques, checking hives and that, it's just the same. You're looking for the same, more or less, clues on frames. You're looking, is the queen doing her job? Any signs of pests, disease, things like that. That's all kind of standard. But as far as the different seasons, because now, like Rodney, I know down in the Carolinas, when he was, 74 today, they're going to be hitting it. Their bees are bringing in pollen. We don't have none of that in Ohio. So what he's doing right now, ending of February, March, is different. Like through March, typically what I do is I'm prepping my hives. So if I have hives that I'm looking to set up for the season and do splits and things like that, March is typically my month here where, I'm just still keeping an eye on the temperatures, but I want to clean my boxes, get a fresh coat of paint on them. Now I'm going to do something else with, I have a couple hives that are still wood that I treated them with tung oil, but I'm going to do that Shishugibon where you burn them and then treat. So, but March is like my prep month where I'm going to spend, most of my time just getting things set. If I can move my one stand, I'm going to dismantle it and just get that thing all set. Because when the season hits, it's like the race. When they ring that gun and you get your bees, For a new beekeeper especially, you're just going to be, you're going to be going and rolling. 70 degrees, 70 degrees here, 36 at night. Okay, wow. What's up, Brian? Backyard Bees NC. What's happening, buddy? Sup? Sup, yo? But, and that said, just so that you know, Karen, like, and I tell people a lot of that stuff just because also of the differences, and that's why I always tell people to find a local mentor, because it's just, beekeeping also is very, you'll find that even like buckeye hunting and fishing there in Ohio, I think about 2 hours or so away. I forget, but what they do down there might be different than what I do here. Different plants, different temperatures. So, oh yeah, this here, yeah, this is a Tunstead. Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Yeah, Brian, that's a Tombstead. And he did this. Oh my gosh, man, he did this last year, April, May or so in there. When he would do lives, he did this. Yeah. So, but now, Karen, the one other thing. So, and for those that are going to be getting into, beekeeping, Boots. Yeah, Brian, he is. Tombstead. Uh, I don't think he's doing lives anymore. If you need his contact info for something, let me know. And I got his email, and he responds. So, but I don't know why he stopped doing his lives. I don't know whether just work got busy. I know he posts stuff on Instagram all the time. Um, but yeah, he's still around. So Beehive Homestead, what's up, man? So let me send. Oh, okay. I'm sending somebody a text. So, and back to the Langstroth Hive now. So, only have 30 minutes because can't remember. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, Boots, that's important. Back to the Langstroth. So, just this type of hive. Um, there's two like basic sizes. There's 8 frames, 10 frames. Um, as far as what I decided to go with, typically folks do one or the other. That way you can just, if you buy extra boxes, your equipment's all standard. I went with 8 frame for one main reason. Weighs less. Uh, oh boy, I see somebody. I see somebody. Um, and Langstroth, so I'll say this too. Um, Bama Bees, what's up, man? Um, just sending another text. There we go. Langstroths also, if you're not, um, oh yeah, you're there. I see you. I see you. You're down there in the basement. I see you. Langstroths, if you are fine with lifting boxes, um, Langstroths work perfectly fine. They work fine for me. I don't have any problem lifting that equipment. And like I said, I went with 8 frames. Now, the amount of, and this is for Karen, if you're still in here too, the setup of your Matt and Sarah, what's up, buddy? Um, yeah, Doug, your Langstroth has 30 frames. You got one of them long ones. Um, whether you do, and then your sizes of the boxes also. With Langstroths, there's deeps, and then you have the supers, what people talk about. So um, if you're fine lifting, Langstroths might be good. The horizontal hives. Now, I know that you all saw a comment here. My Langstroth has 30 frames. So somebody here that's going to join in that built a couple of these. And let's see here. Let's see here. Look at that right there. So we got NKY honeybees here, okay? And he got, now he started his first year beekeeping here. We see that video there. We got Langstroths, but he spent the winter here and he has been, building like crazy. So he's got a bunch of these horizontal hives, and if you see on his top header, that banner there, all those those horizontal hives in there, the things look awesome. So I'm curious about the horizontal hives. So we got, oh man,
Are we in? Am I on?
You're on here, buddy.
Hey, Brian! Finally,
What is happening?
Hey,
And now I'm not going to say any Bosnian because I'm just throwing that out there right now. I only know one phrase. It's not a good thing to say.
Absolutely.
It's situational.
Yes, it was kind of funny that somebody else understood what you were saying the other night. Man. And we were laughing like nobody knows what he said.
Now when you said we, was your wife watching also?
No, she wasn't, but I did show her later. I showed her later. I had to. We had a good laugh.
Yeah. Oh man. My friend that taught me that, he made me say that to his mom, and she cracked me in the side of the head, and she gave him an earful too. So, because there's other things you could teach somebody about your wonderful language, you know.
Absolutely, it's always the bad words you learn in any language you're trying to learn. So
that's what us Americans want to learn. We just want to know those bad things. So, but the funny thing is though, and one more thing, and then I because I'm just so curious about the horizontals. The funny thing is the night I learned that phrase, I said it to probably 50 or 75 people that were walking into a bar, and not one of them. I had several guys shake my hand, and the bouncers at the door were, they could hardly even keep a straight face. People thought we were nuts. So, oh man. Here, there we go. Here, there we go. Now we got the names on there. So NKY honeybee. Okay. So,
yeah, sorry, Brian. I'm still learning this. I've never been on a live, so
yeah.
Yeah.
So with StreamYard, and I don't know, I know on the right-hand side, you might have a comments tab. So if you want to look at any of the comments, you can do that over there.
Yep.
It's a little bit different. It is. It's a little bit different. So, and Spike, you just joined. Yep. You can cuss a lot in French, I see Spike says. Yeah. I know one.
Yes, you can.
I know one sentence in Bosnian. Yeah, but we're going to move on from my Bosnian. Our guest here, NKY honeybees, and I know. Way back you were A&N, and then you went to the Huskies, and now I kind of like the northern Kentucky honeybees. I like that. I do. I like that.
I changed a couple of times just because when you start things, you really don't know what you want. Right. At least I didn't. I had no clue, so I changed it. I'll keep this one.
I like it. And those wondering, definitely check him out. I just threw his link up, so if anybody's curious about his channel, that is his link right there. But the reason why I wanted to get you on here is I want to talk about these horizontal hives.
Yeah. So it's funny because I actually used Doug's video to build my hive, except I added more frames. I actually have 33 frames on my hives.
Okay.
Yep. I think his is 30 frames. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So those are really easy to build actually, and you can build as many frames as you want, I guess, and as little as you want. Because I have a couple of different styles I built. I
Hmm.
just saw from different people. I think they're easier to work with, and they disturb the bees less, I think, when you're doing inspections. But then I'm not an expert at that, so we'll have to find
Yeah,
out this coming up
yeah,
spring, you know?
right, right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
this all works out for those in here that are like new. These
Mhm.
horizontal hives, and if like what I was talking about the weight, when you have a full honey super, you've got some weight.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with the horizontal hives, like what he has, you're lifting up one frame at a time. It's a lot easier on your back. And there's like me, I mean, I'm in my 40s. There's times when I'm lifting equipment and you're just working at it, your back hurts. I mean, you just get sore. So it's just the nature of the business. But these horizontals, um, I mean, they,
They they seem, I watched a whole bunch of videos. People definitely have them, not as many as your traditional hives, because
yeah,
all the equipment is geared towards 8 frame boxes and 10 frame boxes. So, and I don't know, I can build one under $70 entire
really.
hive. Yep. So that's I actually cut the cost down and figured out you can probably actually do it cheaper if you do a little bit digging around, get some discounts buying the lumber.
Yeah.
But I just went to Home Depot and bought, and I mean, and I've never built anything previously.
Oh,
So
really?
no, I've never built anything close to that. So it can't
Let,
be that hard.
let me see your fingers.
Look, please, man. I work in IT, so all I do
Yeah.
is, yeah, I
Yeah.
I really enjoyed building those, and I think they're really a lot easier, especially like you said, for heavy lifting if you're getting up there in age a little bit, or you just don't want to, you know, move a million boxes around. That was my thing, actually,
Yeah.
just moving so many boxes around. And every time I did an inspection, I have this thing. I can't just, I've seen some people check the top box and leave the bees alone. I can't do that. I have to dig through the whole two deeps through the honey
Yeah.
supers. I just
Right.
have that. What if I missed the queen cell and I'm gonna come back and all the bees are gone,
Yep.
So
Yep.
so every
Yeah.
time I go in there, I would actually take the whole hive apart, and I don't think that's really good for the bees, to be honest. But
Yeah. And there's some, I mean, you're going to get into one of those beekeeping discussions where we could throw up our opinions and every beekeeper is going
yep,
to throw in their opinion. But,
always.
there is that husbandry aspect of beekeeping where when you get bees, it is a huge investment. And,
Oh, yeah.
the cost of, I mean, set aside from the cost of all of your equipment, but it's just the cost of the bees too. Now, if you're one that um, you can catch swarms like crazy, I'm no good at it. If you get those free bees, great. You're not losing money if you
Yeah.
lose a hive. But for me, I spent money on mine. So, that's where that husbandry comes in. And especially, your first season is kind of, I say it just kind of glides along and you're watching them build
Yeah.
up and doing their thing.
Yep.
The fun starts the next spring when you watch and you're looking in there and you see those peanuts starting to form. And you know what I'm talking about. And then
Absolutely.
you're like, oh, what do I do now? That's when the fun starts. So I'm kind of like you in that way where I want to dig.
Yeah. It was one of the reasons I made my channel actually, because even though that's how I learned about beekeeping. I watched a lot of you guys before I even talked to anybody. I watched for hours. We just sat here, watched and watched. But
Yeah.
I made a channel. I said it's a lot easier to show somebody what I'm looking at than actually trying to explain. Even though I had a friend that I could call, like a mentor, but not around. But it's kind of hard to explain hey, I'm looking at this. But if I have a video and I throw it up like you do and I do, like everybody, if 10 people see it, people can point like things out a lot
Yep.
better, I think. I think
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, like, I mean, I started throwing my stuff on there just to
Yeah.
show really my family and just a couple friends,
Yeah.
and,
That's
you know,
that's another thing. Yeah, people ask you. My friends and family always ask me, "How's this? What's this?" And all I do is just tell them, "Go watch my YouTube." And there's a
yeah.
million other people that have a whole bunch of different things you can actually learn.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did, I tell you, last year, um, I learned, oh my gosh, I learned a ton. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's been good. So what,
I
how many of the Langstroths did you have? How many hives did you run last year?
So okay, so yeah, let me give you a little bit of that information. So last year I started with 2 hives and then I built up to 5 and doing splits, and only one survived actually. So I decided to, during the winter, I built 7 horizontal hives. Actually, I
Oh,
built more
wow.
than that. I've got 9, just 2 of them not ready to go out yet. But I built 5 33 frames. And then I have 2, I don't know if you've seen those, but the 2 that are actually 19 frames. Just the bottom holds 19 frames and the super goes on top. I
I
kind
saw that.
Yep. So I kind of wanted to experiment because I
Yeah.
saw some people do it, but some of the hives I saw people put so many things on there, so many details. I just wanted a simple hive that works. I don't need all the extra stuff. But if you look at some of the people that build those, I mean, they're beautiful, but
I
I don't have the skills for
I
the
saw
detail.
one. I saw one that almost looked like a castle. They had all of the little doors and
See,
windows, and the thing had like a shingling and all that done, and I'm like, it's a beehive. What, you know?
I think that's one of the things, like when you start beekeeping, you want beautiful beehives, but then midsummer, your first year, you realize that they're gonna get dirty, the paint falling off. It's like the hive tool
Yeah.
damaged the corners. I mean, I
Yep.
learned that as I went. But I built 7 and I'm gonna run 7. I'm gonna have
Okay.
4. I'm actually gonna switch up some of the bees too. I'm gonna have 4 carniolan bees.
Okay.
Um, I ordered, and then I have 2 coming from local beekeepers. They raise the bees. They made the queens. Actually, with those leg biting queens
Oh
trait,
yeah, the ankle
I
biter.
don't know. Yeah. So I just wanted to mix that up and see if that works better. So we'll see. But I did build 7 of those during the winter.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
I'll see. We'll see how they go. I mean, like I said, I'm no expert at it. I have
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
clue, but we're gonna find out. I'll definitely keep everybody updated.
Yeah. What now? Are you have one hive going now? Are you just going to transfer that over?
So I don't know. I'm still probably gonna use standard hives too when I do splits and stuff. I mean, I can't just build a hive that quick. I mean, I could actually probably in a day, but when you're doing a split, I don't have time to go back and build another horizontal hive until I get to it. So
Right.
I'll have that mix. But the hive that I have is actually 8 frame hive, the one that survived. And
Okay.
I did an inspection today. I told you,
Yeah.
I it was 64, and I just could not. I actually just wanted to see if they had stores for March to make it through March. And when I opened it, they have a lot of honey. The whole super is full of honey. But then the hive has actually probably 12 frames of bees. I thought it's like it was kind of crazy. I felt like I opened it in June or something. And
Wow.
checked a couple of frames too, and there's the 2 frames I checked quickly. It was full of eggs, side to side. So the queen's laying, and that hive might
Really?
actually. Yeah, I was surprised actually. So
I
I don't
I
know.
tell you, you got a couple weeks, and you're going to have some work.
Yep. So I was looking at the weather. The next couple of weeks is going to be mid to upper 50s, which the bees are active. I've
Yeah.
seen my bees active at like anything over, I would say like 42, 43 degrees. They're
Hmm.
always out.
Yeah.
So one thing I learned watching, can't remember who it was. I was watching just today actually. Keep an eye on the stores. Make sure you don't run out
Yeah.
because they're gonna be so active. I didn't even realize that a lot of beekeepers say you actually lose bees in March because there's no nectar flow or anything, and they just go to the stores and starve. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on as well.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an important time of the year. Just and I think
Yeah,
I've been in a couple lives, and they were talking about this just because there's nothing out there right now for them. There's no flowers blooming. They're getting active. They're going out and doing their thing. They're searching around, and there's no food. So all of that increased activity, and they're going to just chew through their stores like mad. So
yeah,
you know,
yes.
but now if you had a couple dead outs, um, see,
Oh, what we got?
see,
See, yeah, it was Brian. It was bees and huskies and A&N
uh huh,
honeybees. We talked
yeah,
about that. I won't change anymore. I'll just keep it as is now.
yeah.
I'll still I'll still share my huskies couple once a while on my thing because they're
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
You could always, with those ones that didn't make it, I'm sure you've got honey stores there. If they're low, you could, I mean, especially when it's in the 60s, throw in swap out a frame or two, and you're good.
Yeah, yeah, that was
So,
my plan today actually, but I realized they don't need anything. They have a lot of the hive's super heavy, so they have a lot of stores.
yeah,
But I don't know how quickly they can actually go through that stuff because this is my first spring with a surviving hive. So, so we'll see. I might leave that one as is and do a split because those survive. So, I mean, I don't know. I think they're good bees,
yeah,
better than the ones. So we'll see. I might do a split and just throw them in the horizontal hive
hmm
and keep them in
yeah, you
there.
could do that.
Yeah, because I did order a bunch of packages. I didn't want to buy nooks because, like you said, I heard you mention in one of your actually videos that you have all the extra comb and
Yep,
leftovers. So there's
yep,
no really need for a nook because
yeah,
these have everything.
yeah, yeah. That was my thought too. I just, why, if I have all that stuff, am I going to spend the extra money for a nuke that really it's gonna, if I went that route, it's gonna save me a week or two. Not much. I mean, in the whole grand scheme, it's the
Mhm.
cost difference in that. I was just like, you know,
Yeah, it's a pretty big difference, and if you have extra things, I don't see. I will try to catch a swarm. I see Doug said catch a swarm. I will try. I'll set a couple of things out, but I won't go out of my way really to because, like
yeah,
Brian said, I don't think I'm good at it. So I'm just gonna throw some boxes out there and hope that something lands in there.
yeah. Now I do know Battis Bees in here. He's done a couple videos lately,
Yep.
just giving tips
I'll,
on catching swarms. So
yeah, I
um,
watch those myself. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But
so are you going to get a horizontal hive? Are you gonna
me,
build one, or do I have to build one and bring it up there?
I tell you, it's funny because I think I probably drove right through your town.
You actually did when you went to
The
uh,
Ark.
the Ark. Yes, I wasn't here when you went down there. I'm actually you drove by my bees just 10 minutes off the highway. Actually,
Oh,
yeah. I wish I was here because it's
yeah,
right because I'm only about 20-minute drive down to the Ark from where I live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if I was here, I would have definitely, because I know you said you were going down there. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I wish I was here. I'll just tell you to swing by, because like I said, it's only 10 minutes or so off the highway.
Yeah. His Way Homestead, uh, Doug, he was down there. He visited the Ark, so he was close to you also.
Oh man. See, I was thinking about that when I'm actually getting ready to go anywhere. I'm just gonna check who's around and maybe stop by and just meet some
Yeah.
of the people.
Look at that, what Rodney's doing.
Oh,
Going to work with Bob Benny and man,
oh wow. I
that'd
think
be
Ben
awesome.
he says he's going to work for commercial.
Yeah. That name of the company we're going to see. So when he does that, then we're going to see all this honey hitting the stores, and it's going to be bad bees honey.
Yep.
Be like, I'm going to be like, well, before he got all famous, he used to join lives. Now
Yep.
he don't talk to nobody.
He used to talk to us.
Yeah, I used to be able to send him a text, but now he don't answer. He got me all blocked. Oh man, that's funny.
See,
Yeah.
Rodney's going to work with Bob. So
So the horizontal hives, from your looking them up,
Mhm.
um, how many folks build them so that you can fit the supers on top of them?
Not many at all, actually. So most just I only found a couple of people actually that, and those that I did find were one of those, like you said, they were castle-looking hives with these super opening supers, which
Pillars and
I don't have this. I don't have the skill set to build such things. So
yeah,
I build mine simple. They can fit. They can fit actually the supers on top. At least the two I built. I'm gonna
yeah,
test that out. And the other ones are just basically a standard long hive, horizontal hive, which, like I said, they hold 33 frames. I don't know why I did that. I think my measurements were off at first, so
okay,
I could fit more frames, and I'm like, okay, I'll just stick with this because I don't think there is an actual measurement that you have to stick to.
yeah.
Oh, is that me?
Now this one here,
Yep, that's
that's
the
with,
ones.
that's with the super.
Yep. So this one holds 19 frames,
Okay,
and so instead of having two deeps, at least this was my idea. Instead of having two deeps, I would just make one kind of mini horizontal hive that holds 19 frames, but you have an option for supers. As you can see, you just put them in there. It's fairly
yeah.
simple.
Oh, okay. And you've got your queen excluders on there.
Yep, you can put excluders as well, queen excluders,
Yeah,
and the top cover actually fits over those boxes and fits on the bottom box when you're done with the honey flow. You can just take that out, and it's like one top cover for both.
yeah,
So I was kind of going for simplicity. I'm sure I can tweak some things,
yeah.
some more
I
things.
mean, to me, that's a pretty solid build right there. Looking at it.
And you can use if you want. This is an 8 frame. I mean, you can build one just a little bigger for a 10 frame,
Yeah,
but you can use either the deeps or the supers. They both fit on there.
I like it.
I mean, we'll see. I have two of those, so we'll
Yeah,
see how they work this summer. I'm definitely gonna have bees in all of my horizontal hives. They're all coming either I think April, beginning to middle of the April.
uh-huh.
I don't know why, because last year when I bought my bees, I got them mid-March, and I couldn't find anybody that would ship them. And yeah, that's
Yeah,
another thing. The bottom board on that hive actually opens up for those quick peanut checks.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Clean
Right,
up. You
right.
can just check if you don't have time or something.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll give that a test.
yeah. And that's, like with mine, usually what I'll do is Yeah, I mean Langstroths are easy. You just tip them forward and look underneath.
Yep.
You'll
Yep.
see it. You know, you'll see them. But yeah, I like that design. And the others, and I see a bunch of different builds here. But if you got the
Oh,
info from Doug, that's that's awesome.
yeah. I didn't even know. I remember I was looking for people that built horizontal, and there isn't many. Some just show you a couple of things, but his had um, most detail actually. So I'm like, I think I can do this.
I
Uh,
think.
So I've tested it because you put. I see what he's talking about. The
Mhm.
water keeps going in between on the edges, so I might actually add like a rubber skirt that goes around. It just snaps. I already have one, but I'm gonna test it without because I don't know if it's gonna take that much water because it's really snug tight in there. So I don't know. And it's summertime during honey flow. I don't think that's gonna bother the bees. To be honest, it's not like it's gonna like pour inside or anything. Might get a drop or two. But
Yeah,
I did. Somebody mentioned that actually before, and I had this kind of a rubber skirt. You just puts it over, and it has like a little lip that goes over that, and the water can get in.
I wonder if you couldn't put some type of like an angled wooden piece, you know,
Absolutely.
and just have it so it fits down in. So I mean, yeah, of course, there might be still a little trickle, but
I think you froze.
if there's really like a pouring rain, it's going to just deflect it away. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I'm really not that worried about that because, like I said, I was thinking about the same thing. Maybe just the boxes I use for that specific hive, I can just put wood around too in an angle, and
yeah,
it'll just drip down. It's not. And another
yeah,
thing, it's summer. If there's a drop or two of water in there, bees, it's not gonna do anything to the bees because
yeah,
I'm not planning on keeping them cold. I'm only keeping honey supers on there for during the honey flow.
right,
So at least, like I said, it might have to do some tweaking and some adjustments, but
yeah.
we'll see. It's a learning process.
That's it. Yep, yeah, right here, like an angled flow hive lid. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There's
yeah,
a whole bunch of things. Yeah, I appreciate the input though because if it works, I think it's actually because it's smaller than 30 frames. It's kind of easier for people to handle. It's 19 frames. It's like I compared it to two deeps, and then you have honey supers on top. Except you don't
right.
have to take them apart. It would be easier to lift up the frame, like frames for inspections and stuff. At least
Yeah,
that was my idea, like going for it. But
yeah,
I've seen some people build similar. But like I said, the ones I've seen built so many details and little, like you said, little windows and doors, and i
yeah.
I don't know, I just don't know. Like I said, I don't have the skills to do it. And I don't think you need it really. It's bees will be in anything.
There you go. I tell you, my first hive that I got, it's got little
Thank you.
observation windows on it, and I jumped at all that stuff. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be money, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's $50 for a piece of plexiglass that I can look through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then
would I do that now? Nope, nope.
I'm the same way. You're just so excited when you first start. You just want the different things.
Yeah,
Really, the biggest reason is, I don't know. I think it's just the lifting of the boxes because even though I heard before people said these boxes are heavy, I did not. I'm like, how heavy can that little box be? But believe me, when that box is full of honey, that box can be
they're
heavy.
heavy. Yeah,
When you're working bees in like I don't know 80, 90-degree weather and you're lifting,
you're
I
yeah.
yeah,
You know,
you'll learn a lot.
Matt and Sarah here. I'm sure it's probably Matt, but Sarah might be watching also. Um, that's a good one right there. That if you had access to a flow super, throw flow supers right on top of that thing if they'd
Oh
work.
wow, yeah.
I don't know though. I had such
Oh
a
wow.
hard time with mine that I don't recommend a flow super for anyone. So Ricky
I
Rourke,
might actually. Brian, let me ask you: are they the same? Those flow supers? Because that's one thing I want, and I'm just debating. Just maybe, like I said before, it's kind of a garden prop. I just want it to be in my
yep.
garden and look pretty. But are
Um,
the supers same? Are they same sizes or different?
so to fit an 8 frame, they have it's a 6 frame flow super. The
Ah, okay, okay.
the 7 frame flow super fits a 10 frame. So it's a little bit because they are thicker. Like each flow frame is, what are they, inch and 3/4 or so? They're pretty thick.
Oh wow.
So because you figure 6 of those frames takes up an 8 frame box.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just um, I'm not sold on it. I had to do so much extra work
For it.
and forcing the bees into a single brood box
Yeah.
and all of that additional work. It just they ended up swarming late, later in the season than in all of my others, just because there were so many bees in that single brood box laying like crazy. It just, when none of my other hives were having issues, that one I was still getting, cups and stuff in it, and I'm just like, why, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that was another reason for my horizontal hive too. I figured it's so easy. You can just have the frames ready there and just take
yeah,
them on divider board and actually move it 3, 4, 5 frames to keep them from swarming, just to give them room if they need it. At least in theory, it sounds good. I don't know if you watched that. Uh, what's his name? Geez, he's got the big green hive, horizontal hive. He just started.
I've seen a couple. Yeah, let's see here. Now you're just talking here. I should pull the other video up because I like a lot of things. I like a it's a slick design here.
So you could put hot flow supers on those. I mean, if they're the
Oh
same
yeah,
measurement. If not, it's easy to adjust because I
yeah,
really didn't have any specific measurements. I measured like the how big the supers were, and I built according to that. I mean,
yeah.
no expert builder, but like I said, I've never built anything close to this before.
How so weight wise? Um, when you just have, when you just have the 19 frame box there, how
Mhm.
much weight do you figure, you have there?
So that one's, I really don't know. I should weight that. It's I mean, I can pick up the whole thing by myself. It's not that heavy, to be honest. But it does have some weight to it. So I figured that filled up with honey would be pretty heavy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I built with 2-inch pine. So I've seen
Okay.
people actually built with 1 inch. So I'm
Mhm.
assuming those are a lot lighter. So it really, I guess it depends. I could definitely weigh one of these just to. So it depends what you build it with.
Yeah. Look at, see, that's why they call them, baddest bees right there.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too.
He's got busted vertebrae and lifting a box. He's probably lifting them boxes with like 2 fingers too. That's
Probably.
it. You see his videos.
Yeah, I
See?
do.
Uh huh.
I just figured this was a lot easier to work, to be honest with you. Like, you see how easy this is to move the frames around
Yeah.
and check? You don't have to open the whole hive to check. You can just open, take one of
Now,
those boards.
your divider that you have there, the
Mhm.
spacing underneath, I've seen some people put like a type of a coil underneath of there. That way it allows for ventilation. Do you
Yep.
have that in the bottom of yours?
I only have it in one because I saw that was done. I think done. That has on his hive. I only put it on one, and then I figured, I don't need it. I can just put more ventilation
Yeah,
if I need to around and on the lid or on the bottom anywhere. I can add ventilation. It's so easy, and just put one of
yeah,
those plates that you can
uh-huh.
close at any time.
Yeah. And the plates, as far as the ventilation on these plates, like
Mhm.
just from your research, what have you found? Like, how many of those do you have to have with holes so that the ventilation?
So on a horizontal hive, it's usually two.
Okay.
I have more. I actually have on the sides. I think it's in some of my videos. Sometimes you forget. There's so many details. On
Yeah.
the sides of the covers, I do have on each side another a smaller one that's for a nook. I also have those because you can close them. You don't need that open. But in case they need more ventilation, I can just
Uh,
turn that, and that would give them more ventilation too. I like I said, I don't know if they're gonna need it,
yeah.
but if
I
they
do like
do,
this
it's an
design.
option. And I added that I told you that bottom, just so you can open easily. I can just look underneath
Yeah.
if I'm on the go.
Yeah. Let me get to that part here.
I think that's towards the end. I think, yep. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I figured I'd make some and do some experiments with some of these things, and hopefully they work. In theory, they should work. As you can see, that just drops down
Yeah.
easily, and then you can see all the frames right from the bottom. And you know, if you got swarming cells, they're gonna be here
Yeah. Do
hanging out.
you are you thinking about putting like a hardware cloth or something on the bottom there? Just
Uh, I wasn't. I can. I
yeah.
actually wasn't. Yeah, because I've seen some people build them with 2 or 3 inches gap between the bottom
Uh-huh.
and yep, and just clean them out. For example, with like a vacuum once a while if they need to. But I don't know. Definitely you can add that easily there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, staple gun and you're good. Cut it and staple it
You
in.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I kind of took ideas from different people
Yeah.
and made it changed a bunch of things. I made it my own. Kind of
Yeah.
just I tried to simplify. I just tried to make it simple. I didn't want all the windows and all the doors and all the extra things. So
You didn't want to spend $50 for a little piece of plexiglass that's, about 6 inches.
believe this big. Believe me,
That
that came across my mind many times.
that that company yeah, they made money off of me. So when I placed my
How-
order, they said a bell went off in the warehouse, and they said we got another sucker. So
You should have Doug say how long has Doug had the horizontal hive?
let's see here. Doug, are you here, buddy? He's
Yeah,
here.
you should have a little more experience. Actually, I have a bunch of experience, I guess, building it, but not. Some people.
Doug,
Some, come on, Doug.
Doug, come on, Doug. Here we go. The blue
Yeah,
yellow one, the running down pain is my favorite. Yep.
I think mine too because I have like the standard hive like that, and then I have a horizontal hive like that as well. Is Doug here?
Yeah, he just said I'm here, but I have to tell him click the link.
Oh, I was wondering because some people said I was wondering the same thing. How do they separate the honey and the brood? and everything. So some people say just let them run; they'll do it themselves. I made a queen excluder that fits like a divider board. I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not, so I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
There he
Look.
is.
What's up?
What's
Can you
going
hear me?
on?
Hey,
So
man.
you're
You're
horizontal.
Yeah.
you're not native to Kentucky, are you?
No. Why? What makes you say that?
It's
No,
just a hint of an accent that wasn't quite Kentucky.
right? No, I come originally back from Bosnia, but I came to US in 2000. Yeah, just beginning
Oh,
of
wow.
2000. Yeah. But I came a little older, so accent never goes away.
Yeah.
It always stays. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think on your bottom piece, I think
Mhm.
you can just do a 45-degree angle cut on the top of that, and it'll shed water. No need for an extra piece or anything like that, because what'll happen is because it's flat there,
Mhm.
the rain will come in and it'll beat on that and it'll pull up on that and
Just
it will wick down in there. But if you have a 45-degree cut right on the outer edge of that,
okay.
you shouldn't have any trouble because you got a lot of width there. So yeah,
Yeah.
you could probably just take a router. Your
Yeah.
screws might be in the way there, but that should work.
That sounds good. Like I said, I was making it and I'm I figured I have to do some adjustments but I don't know. I think it might work. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to ask you because I know you had the horizontal hive. Like I said, I used your video to build my long hives. So because it was really detailed, it was kind of easy to follow and build. So
Well, yeah, I just tried to show making the whole thing, and there were some parts that I didn't get to show, but I think everybody got the gist of it. Um, I I built mine. Well, we caught our swarm back in last May, so this is my first year.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm new. We're probably about the
So
same.
do you have bees in it now?
Yeah, yep. There's bees in it
Right, that's
now.
what I thought. I've seen the video. Yeah.
Yeah, they were flying today. It was 60 some degrees here, and they were flying pretty good. So this is
Have you noticed? Have you seen like how they separate brood and honey in a horizontal hive? That was my
Yeah, yeah. What they do is most of the brood will be closest to the entrance, and
okay.
the honey frames will be further away from the entrance, and that's what you'll see.
Okay.
So when you go to collect the honey, you'll want to go the farthest
Away.
away from the front from the entrance. But
Oh.
typically, uh, they'll have the brood on the bottom and the honey storage in the top of the frame. But that's why a lot of people like the lay-ins,
Those
where it's a lot
lands. Yeah.
deeper frame, and it's more about the size of what they would do in the wild. They have more honey storage in the top and more room for brood at the bottom.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Okay.
in my looking at these different designs, um, I thought about a lay-ins, but I'm not
Well,
sure yet.
the problem with the lay-ins, it doesn't fit everybody's extractors, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the problem, because you can borrow a club's extractor to extract your honey.
That's a
You know,
good point because my extractor that I have, I think it'll hold 3 frames. It's just, I'm small scale.
yeah,
I'm never going to have 50 hives where I'm going to have to spend, you know, whatever 100 or
yeah.
whatever frames. I'm just not.
There
So
there is one channel that I watch. This guy's been doing bees for 12 years, and he recently just converted over or added horizontal hives to his apiary. So his perspective is pretty cool, right? Because he's been doing it with standard Langstroth hives, and then recently added that. So that's the guy I want to hear from, not the guy that's always been doing horizontal hives.
Right.
Right.
But he never, for 12 years, he never had an extractor, and he had like 20 some hives.
Wow.
He would just cut them out and do it all by hand. It's like, wow, that's a lot of work. But he wasn't. I don't think he was harvesting all that much. He was letting the bees have a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. If I'm going to build one, I probably should like get my plan set here in the next 2 or so weeks, 3 weeks, just because I'll get my packages, I think, third week of April. So, I mean, I still have, oh gosh, what, probably 7, 8 weeks yet. But my wanting to, get one of those hives was simply just to get my mom more involved. So, hey, Spike, tell 101 I'll be over in a little bit too. But yeah, that's, I wanted to do it just for the ease, to get my mom down into the hives again. So
yeah, and I've actually so I compiled mine from horizontalhives.com. Dr. Leo has lots of different plans available, but he doesn't have one single plan that has it all together. So he'll have plans for the screen bottom. He'll have plans for the gable roof. He'll have plans for the long Langstroth, but nothing puts it all together. So I went through the effort and I put plans together that have it all together. So I've got the Freeman trays in the bottom to catch the small hive beetles, and so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
I think that's how I found you, Doug. Because I looked at horizontalhives.com, and everything's all over the place. Like you have pieces of the hive, and then I'm like, somebody has to have the whole package and how it's done, so I can just build it. And this guy, this guy, and I found this guy. Yep.
Yeah.
That's because he's doing it his way.
Absolutely.
Well, not my way. But I do have the plans available. So
yeah,
I make them available to anybody. I've got a lot of interest here lately. I've probably sent out about 5 or 6 plans this week. So
I'll be honest with you. I've had a lot of people ask me, email me, how do you build this? Do you have exact measurements? And I don't know, maybe people watch these videos, like see different people doing it or something. Because Doug just mentioned he had.
Yeah.
So, and people, I don't know, maybe people just want to build them. It's definitely fun building one of those. It's not that hard. I don't know. You can probably confirm it's a fun build and it's not too complicated.
And I've got a table saw and all that, so
yeah. With the gabled roof on it, that got a little complicated. The thing I don't like is putting the metal on the roof. I hate that.
Yeah, I went with just a standard kind of flat roof too, just because that looked a little more complicated to build. So
yeah,
we'll see. If it doesn't work, I can always change the roof. I mean, I can build a different roof.
Yeah, and Dr. Leo had listed wider flashing material than what I could get. So I don't know where he was getting it from, but I couldn't get it that wide. So that made a big difference too. So that made it harder.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll get everybody on these hives now, including Brian.
Well, if I do one, it truly is only going to be that one, just because I've got. I mean, I have enough. I have enough equipment to run 8 hives, the Langstroths. So I do want to get a poly hive, one of those polystyrene hives, just to try that out. And they're, the bee store that's close to me, they sell a double deep, with the vented top and all that stuff. It's, I think it's $81 for the whole hive.
Oh,
So,
really?
and it's like $17 or something like that for a super. So I'm probably going to end up spending like 100 and maybe $20, and I'll get two deep with two supers. So, you know, um, smoking wheel. I'm going to find it here in a second.
It's His Way Homestead.
Yeah, that's-
Yep, his way. I'll put the link out. I'll put the link up there for you.
I can do it. I'm a moderator.
I might be faster than when you are there. I don't know.
You probably are. I'm kind of slow tonight.
See, there we go. But yeah, smoking wheel. It's His Way Homestead, and that should be the link right there. So, and I'll go back and find.
Is that a video?
No, that's the channel.
That's the channel. It should have the custom one.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's weird.
And this other link here is for MKY honeybees.
I was gonna tag you. Remember, I asked you that when I was uploading a video, it says you can tag a channel here.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
I've never done that.
So
Yeah, you can do the in your title or description. You can put an @ symbol and then the channel name, and you'll see when people mention you, right? You can go onto your page and look up mentions. I think it's either in YouTube Studio or on your homepage, and you can tell when people are talking about you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen it today, and I'm like, what is this? I was gonna actually tag Brian in it, and I'm like, I don't know what it does, so I should probably not start tagging people before asking.
Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate all the info on the horizontal hives. I should probably jump at I should get the plans and I should line up what I need and just start now. That way I get it done in the next month. That way, if I need to tweak anything or change anything, I can do it before the bees arrive.
Yeah. I'm still gonna use standard boxes. I mean, I have 10 8-frame boxes for. I probably got 7 or 8 of those just now empty. So I mean, if I do a split, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna build a whole horizontal hive just to do that split. I'm just gonna use those boxes. So I'll have both. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm not an expert. Like Doug said, I'm still learning this thing.
Yeah.
So, but I'll definitely keep everybody updated.
Yeah. I'll be curious. Mary Ranch, you take care.
Bye, Mary.
Yeah, I'll be super, super curious on how they turn out for you. So, and if I build one, that might be my 10, because I was saying I wanted to get up to 10 hives this year. There you go. That's if I have a single hive live.
Did you see my comment earlier when you said had the shirts on there? I said you need to put Castle Hives. 1 out of 3 still alive.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
It was 1 out of 5 over there.
1 out of 5 still alive. That's even better.
Even better. Yep.
Well,
There's Lizzie.
Yeah, I know, Ricky. I should build one. I should. There's Lizzie. How you doing, Lizzie? Yeah, I should. I'm just.
Have you had losses? Oh, sorry, Brian. I was gonna say, have you had losses like that before?
Never.
Never.
No.
He gave him the coronavirus.
That's what I was.
in
That's what I was.
in winters. Now, my first year, I only had one hive, so that hive made it through, and then I did a split, and I bought a nuke. Um, the nuke was bad from the get go. I didn't know anything about nukes. Um, I because it was so weak, I was taking frames from one of my 8-frame hives and putting brood into it. So I lost it in like November or so. So I went into my second year, I went in with 2 hives. They both made it through. Other than that nuke that when I lost it, I mean, I was just like, well, I mean, I tried everything other than putting a new queen in it. I should have pinched the queen and gotten a new one. The guy he probably sold me one of his old queens and threw some stuff in there, because when I opened it, like, there weren't even bees like busting out of the box. It was just they were crawling around a little bit here and there, and I was kind of looking at it like, what the, But now I know. Last year, I went into the winter with 3 hives. All 3 made it through. So this year, who knows? And I didn't change anything of what I did. So, the how I wintered them, none of that I changed. So, but now there's a lot of people. I mean, oh my gosh! I mean, there's so many people that lost bees. Matt and Sarah on there, I saw they're at one of 6.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's horrible.
So,
I've seen so many people actually just saying they lost the hive. Not just 1 or 2 hives; they like lost 80% of the hives.
Yep. Well, and that's more or less like me, because I'm at 1 out of 5, so I basically lost 4 or 5, so I lost 80%. Ray, who's Norseman Honey, I think he's got 2 locations. Each location has 5. The location closest to him, he lost 3 of the 5. The other one, the second location, he said, is out in the middle of nowhere, and he doesn't really check it often. He said he gets out there maybe 3 times a year. All 5 of those are fine. So I'm curious, like, what the difference. I messaged him earlier, and I'm like, I was just curious what the difference in the area. Maybe it's pesticides. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what it is? But
hey, Brian, I'm going to have to go, but I've got another horizontal hive that I have started. I just haven't been able to finish it yet. We've had too many crazy things going on that took my priority, but I'm hoping I can get one more built, and I'm hoping we can catch another swarm. Hopefully this time I won't throw it in my face, and we'll get another hive cranking.
Wow, look at that with Bradley. Guy sent a picture of the Mark Queen, and he slipped that into another queen cage before he picked it up. Oh, man.
Man, some people,
Yeah. That dishonesty. And, hey, Doug, if you got to take care, appreciate you stopping in, buddy.
Yeah,
So,
it was good. Pretty cool. I didn't catch Inky Honeybee's name, so.
No, I haven't gotten his name yet.
Brian just calls me Bosnian, buddy. It's Anel.
Anel? Okay.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You'll probably forget it. Most people forget it. I have to tell them 10 times, so don't worry if you do.
No, I won't. Go ahead, Doug.
I'm gonna call you Inky. Inky.
That works.
Or Inky. All right. Hey, I'll see you guys.
Right, yep. Have a good one, man.
We'll see you.
Doug, you take care. No, I know my buddy that's from Bosnia. His name is Mirza Tukovic.
Tukovic. This sounds familiar for some reason.
My wife, my wife calls him MRSA. She tells him, she's like, "You're like an infection." He's crazy.
Yeah, most
Uh,
of us are. I just have to behave on the video.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Mark. Who? I wonder
Mark,
who's Mark.
who's Mark? Where are we? Yeah,
I think
somebody
you
else.
just became Mark, or
Was
maybe he
that
was talking about Doug. So
Doug?
Commander Bacon Ricky is Doug, um, and he's got just the one. So I do know my Bosnian buddy here, Anel.
Yep,
I got
you
it.
actually got it right.
Um, Now you built what, 7? Did you say?
7. Yep, I've got 7, and I've got a couple of more started, which probably will not get built
Yeah,
because the spring is coming, and we just bought a house last year too, and haven't done anything, so you know how that is.
a lot
It's
of
a lot of
work.
work and these. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a lot of work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
but yeah,
I'll be curious.
yeah,
I'll be super curious. So yeah, but hour and 20 minutes here we are. So I'll probably
yep,
be jumping off here in a minute. So, but
yeah.
I appreciate you popping in here and offering info on those. Everybody, like I said, go and definitely check him out if you're looking into the horizontal hives. He's got some build videos in there, and if you're one that I do love that idea with the supers, but I tell you, like, if it's someone that uh, oh, hang on one second, Lizzie, you see that's those squirrel moments. If you're someone like as far as the weight and lifting, I would probably
Mhm.
build the longer one, like what he has with the 33 frames
Yep.
versus the 19 with the supers on it. So that's probably
Yeah.
what I end up doing if I'm going to do one for my mom.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that was more of an experimental thing for me. Just I've seen something similar, so I'm like, let me try it out.
Yeah.
The other ones are all 33 frames, which I think will work, but I'll keep everybody updated. We'll see. Like I said, I'm no expert at this, but we'll um, we'll just go along this year and see how the hives do. I'll
Yeah.
actually keep up, like at least I'll pick 2 or 3 hives and do a video each week on the progress. So that way we can actually see if that works. And who knows, I might have to scrap all that and go back to standard hives next year. I don't
Well,
think I will.
I don't think now, those horizontals for your area, I think should do fine just because you don't, well, I'd say you don't get the snow like what we do. Now, this year's been weird,
Yeah.
um, but I think, honestly, I think you'd be okay. And even if you do get some of the weather, like Doug, his is still there.
Yeah. So
So,
we'll definitely keep up. I appreciate you having me on, Brian. Like I said, it's my first live, so I
see?
don't know. I had to get used to it.
Yeah.
It's a little
It's,
different than work videos when you're at work. I work from home, so but
it
this is
is,
definitely a little bit different.
yeah. It is different. And if you ever do them by yourself, you're
Mhm.
talking to yourself.
See, I was gonna try that, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just I bet first couple of ones are strange until you get used to it.
Yeah. The first one that I did was over from the bees,
Oh,
so I was able to walk down and talk about them. And I had a table that was set up like 15 feet from them, and they were like right in my background. So that was okay because I was right there, and I love talking about bees. So,
yeah.
um,
See, that
but
works.
it's different. Now with you and the
Mhm.
horizontals, I mean, you've got a good talking point there. I mean, I'm sure if you would do updates periodically.
Yeah, I'll keep everybody updated. We'll see how they go, how the hives actually progress, and then we can maybe I'll do a live too and do some
Yeah,
questions and like you
yeah,
do. So
yeah. Well,
absolutely.
let me know if you do and get the word out. So
Yep, I will.
yeah,
I really appreciate it. I appreciate you bringing me on. This was actually really fun. I
yeah.
I, I didn't know what to expect at first, but
Yeah.
I enjoy.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you enjoyed. So yeah, that's awesome. So, but yeah, we'll talk. So
Yep.
yeah, but everybody, you all take care. Appreciate everybody, stopping in and asking B questions and just all the chat. So, Ricky, you take care. Bradley, everybody in here, Matt, Sarah, Blanchard Bees, everybody just have a good one. Baddest Bees, if you're still in here, Lauren, just everybody. Yeah, you all take care. So, Anel.
Hey, Brian, quick question before you go.
Yeah. What's up?
Are you gonna keep these on with different like hive styles? If somebody has a different
Yeah, if
once in a while, maybe.
I will. I was trying to reach out to Pine City Apiary.
Mhm.
I need to get his email
Okay.
because he's got the top bars. So I was
Yep.
going to try and get some information on top bars. But yeah, I'm gonna keep these going and just I'm gonna try every Wednesday at 8 o'clock to
So okay.
have a live stream and just get some info out. So next week will be a good one for those that want to learn about winterizing some hives.
Yep.
And who will be on. I'm not saying who will be on. I want to keep it like this, just for who will be here next week. Just a simple bee chat with amongst friends. That's all. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, all right, guys.
Yeah.
I do appreciate everybody. Thank you. If you have any questions, missed something, I'm willing to answer. Like I said, no expert, but we can learn together
That's
as we
it.
go. So, yep.
Yep, that's it. So, but you all take care. And next week,
Good
join
night.
on in. Is 8 p.m. Wednesday. We'll have another chat. So, see y'all then.
Good night, all.